We're joined now by the Armed Forces Minister, Bob Ainsworth. Welcome to the Daily Politics. Hi. When you hear the father of the young army captain who was killed in action in Afghanistan blaming the Treasury and Gordon Brown in particular when he was Chancellor, and you see the conclusion of the coroner into his inquest into his death, that he was killed and we were defeated not by the terrorists but by the lack of basic equipment, shouldn't the government feel ashamed?
Andrew, let's get what happened to Captain Phillips into context. First of all, it was 18 months ago. We were brand new in theatre at that time. I mean, I have got...
Six months ago, not 18 months ago, 6 months ago, 2 other soldiers were killed because they were in thin-skinned Land Rovers. They didn't have the heavily protective Mastiff vehicles. That was only 6 months ago. Shouldn't you feel ashamed of that?
There are Mastiff vehicles available in Afghanistan.
No, on this particular deployment, the officers asked for them, but they weren't any being available. They were all being used elsewhere. As a result, 2 young men that you sent into the line of fire died.
You're flinging an allegation at me that I know nothing about, and when I check it out, I doubt if it's exactly as you...
There's a coroner's inquest report in Wiltshire has shown this.
Well, if it's a coroner's report, it isn't recent, let's say that, right? Because these are taking a
It happened only last August, 6 months ago. The inquest heard that the platoon commander had requested the more heavily protected Mastiff vehicles, but they were all being used elsewhere. We didn't have enough.
Andrew, let's just say this, right? Because people really are confused because of the message that's being brought across in the media. We have one of the most capable, best trained, well-equipped armed forces in the world. They are fighting 2 operations in difficult circumstances, and they are doing more than practically any other nation is capable of doing or could take on. And yet we've got people in my constituency and elsewhere who genuinely believe, because of what they hear through the media, that we are sending people... Andrew, let me just finish.
It is not the media. You don't come here and attack the media when you're responsible for the lives of our young soldiers. It is the Oxford coroner, not the media, that said that your failure to give these people basic equipment is, quote, unforgivable, inexcusable, and a breach of trust between soldiers and those who govern them.
I know exactly what the Oxford coroner said in the Phillipson case, right? I know exactly what he said, and I know what happened and where the equipment was.
Not the media minister.
Well, the point that I'm making, though, is this, that there are people the length and breadth of this country, because they can't go to Afghanistan like I can. They can't see that every soldier that gets onto an aeroplane or an helicopter has body armour, believe that we are sending people out there ill-equipped. We are not.